Praise the Lord. Hallelujah. Welcome again to our Monday 15 minutes podcast. Remember, we started this series of teachings last week. So we have had 3 episodes, which I will not be able to go through again. Now, we're talking about a mentor and a protege. Now, I won't be able to go through the past 3 episodes. This is going to be a long episode, so I don't series. So I don't intend to make it long unnecessarily for you. But what we have said to date is this: you need a mentor at a very young age. Now, I was telling a storyline, and I will repeat it, and then I will continue from there. Like I said, a mentor is even from a coach, from a trainer and an instructor. You pay a coach, trainer, or an instructor, but you don't pay a mentor. Now, a mentor is simply a person who wants to take you to where he has been, who wants to meet whom he has met, and who wants to help you to become great in life. In fact, a mentor wants to reproduce himself in you. Now, I told a story of a young university graduate. When she was about to leave university, she wrote to a couple of mentors for mentorship. A couple of them agreed. Now, when she left the university, a mentor called her and said, "I want you to go and execute this project." She agreed. But do you know what? She didn't have the money. So she told her mentor, "How do I get money?" The mentor said, "You go to the bank." She said, "I don't have a guarantor, and I don't have a collateral security." The mentor said, "Don't bother about that. Go to this bank. Take this note to the bank manager." The mentor talked with the bank manager and stood as a guarantor for his new protege and used his own property to stand for her. Now, she executed the contract guided by her mentor. And then on the completion of the contract, she paid back the loan and she walked away with millions. So, first year after her graduation, she became a multimillionaire. The courtesy of a mentor. Now, you see, that is what mentorship will give you. It will give you speed. Now, let's continue. Not everyone can mentor or can be a protege, because many people are selfish, and all they are interested in is in their own thing and empire. Avoid selfish people who don't want you to become who they are, or meet with the people they have met, or go to where they have gone. Mentors will never relate to you as if you are a slave or see you as one. Any man that treats you as a slave will never make you who he is. A protege wants to become who you are without necessarily looking for what is in your hand, but what is in your heart. There is no self-made man. Every man is made by someone. Every man is made by someone. Professors are made by professors. Abraham made Lot. Elijah made Elisha. Paul made Timothy. And Jesus made the 12 apostles. Avoid a self-made man. They will never make you who they are. They will never take you to where they have been to, or meet with people they have met with. Don't be a self-made man. Failures are self-made man. Nobody made failures. Failures made themselves. So success is not what you have become, but who you have made to become who they are. That is success. That is success. That is success. So, having told you a storyline of a young lady who graduated from university and had the privilege to be mentored by a couple of mentors, and that the first year of leaving university, she made her first millions. So meaning that you don't have to be old before you made millions. No. I told you, her mentor could not execute a project because the project was too small. So what did he do? He gave it to her to go and do. She did it. She stood for her with his bank, gave her his property to stand as surety. She had executed the contract under her mentor guidance, and then paid the bank and walk away with millions. That is a mentor. The mentor gave her the machinery. The mentor gave her what she could never have had for many years. The mentor took her to his bank. The mentor took her to his banker, and the rest was a good story. So not everybody can mentor, and not everybody can be a protege. First, to begin with, selfish people cannot mentor you, because listen to me, they will never want you to become who they are. In fact, they will treat you as slaves. I've seen many pastors who treat another pastor as slave. They use language of slavery on them. They humiliate them before congregations. No. Do you know what? They are looking for mentorship. They are not looking for humiliation. But it's because we don't really understand this, and it's not taught in the church, and that's why I'm teaching it. So first, to begin with, not everybody can mentor. Everybody don't have that grace. Selfish people can mentor you. So I've explained that to you, so understand it very well. I will say it again. Mentors will never relate to you as if you are a slave or see you as one. Any man that treats you as a slave will never make you who he is. A protege wants to become who you are without necessarily looking for what is in your heart. But what is in your heart? That's what a protege is looking for. A protege is looking for what is in your heart. So, ladies and gentlemen, let us be willing to make people to become who we are. Because there's no self-made man. Every man is made by someone. Professors are made by professors. I've never seen somebody who made himself a professor without professors. Professors made professors. So pastors should make pastors. Okay. Now, Abraham made Lot, Elijah made Elisha, Paul made Timothy, and Jesus made the 12 apostles. So, again, avoid a self-made man. They will never make you who they are. I will never hang around a man who will say consistently, I made myself. If he made himself, he's not going to make you. He believes that you should make yourself. So in other words, I've met people who told me, Reverend David, if you want to become who I am, you need to pay the price. No, I don't need to pay the price if you have paid the price. I want to leverage on your success. Okay, the closest word to mentorship in the Bible is the word fatherhood. It's obvious that my father wants to achieve one thing, and that is to make me his dream come true, according to Hebrews 12:9-10. Now, I'm trying to explain to you that in the Bible, the closest word to who a mentor is fatherhood. Now let's explore that in the scriptures and see that. Hebrews 12:9-10 says, furthermore, we have had fathers of our flesh, your biological, which corrected us. And we gave them reference. Shall we not much rather be in subjection unto the Father of spirits and live? Now that's talking about God. Now, for they verily for a few days chastened us after their own pleasure. Now let me explain that to you. after their own pleasure. After their own pleasure means, my dad is a medical doctor. Do you know what? He wants me to go to university and become a medical doctor so that when he's old as a medical doctor, he can hand over his clinic to me so that I can continue with his dream. I listened to a young man yesterday on TV who is a musician, and they were trying to interview him. How did he get into this music world? He said, my mother had about 4 of us, and nobody was interested in music. So my mother made me to become a musician. In other words, that was not what he had wanted to become in life. I have an uncle who is an architect, blessed and lovely uncle. He's about 85 years old now. But do you know what? He has been a good architect, and he still wants it today. Now, he sent one of his children. In fact, one of his children is an architect. The other one was a quantity surveyor, which is still in the bracket of architecture. So he told me that when his daughter finished university, she collected many gifts from the Department of Quantity Survey. And then she told him and said, Daddy, sorry, you want me to become QS, but that's not what I wanted in my life. Today, she's a good fashion designer abroad. Very good fashion designer. So she has to. Now, that is what that passage is telling us in that Hebrews 12, 9 to 10. In that Hebrews 9 to 10. But he for our profit, that is God for our profit, that we might be partakers of his holiness. Did you see that? God is also mentoring us as a father. When God is our spiritual father who wants us to become who he is as God. That's what they say. But he for our profit, that we might be partakers of his holiness. So fatherhood in the Bible is very close to mentorship. Listen to me. I use the language very close. So mean that they are not the same. They are not the same. So I'm going to be pointing out the difference between fatherhood and mentorship. But they are very close. A mentor wants to make you who he is. A father also wants to make you who he is. But how they both arrive there are two different roads. They are not the same road. They are not the same road. So I'm going to be building further on this, trying to let you know that fatherhood and mentorship are very close, but they are still different. And that's why we saw it in that Hebrews 12, 9 to 10. It says, furthermore, we have had fathers of our flesh which corrected us, and we gave them reference. Shall we not much rather be in subjection unto the Father of spirits and live? For they verily for a few days chasing us after their own pleasure. Your father wants you to become who he is, so that you can take over after him. If my father is an engineer, he wants me to study engineering so that I can take over the factory after him. But he for our profit, that we might be partakers of his holiness. So God also is a father who wants us to be a partaker of his holiness. But you know, I just run out of time right now. But on Wednesday, I will continue from that Hebrews 12, 9 to 10, explain all the difference between fatherhood and mentorship. Bless you. From here, I want to tell you that Jesus is Christ, Lord. I will see you in our Wednesday 15 minutes podcast.